Good afternoon. Welcome back to the Duke Rants. This is the part that always just make me shake. The first part. But today I have Pastor Ituah Ighodalo with us, a very very influential man, very powerful man of God, and a man of many parts. Good afternoon, Pastor.
Good afternoon, Duke. How are you?
Very fine, thank you. Very fine, thank you. Yeah, you're a very busy person. Where are you coming from?
I'm just coming from a conversation on migration.
Oh,
There's an organization called the International Organization for Migration. It's
Okay.
an international organization, $4 billion budget.
wow.
And the country manager here in Lagos, Victor Luchenko, and I coordinated or combined together to have a migration session with leaders of religious organizations. So we started at about 11:30. I thought we'd be through by 2, but somehow the
it will pass.
afternoon stretched and all
Yeah.
that.
So
that's
what was the idea behind that? You guys, you don't want us to run away again, or you want us to stay, or how?
Well, there's good migration,
Yes.
there's safe migration, there's unsafe migration. Safe migration is okay because it helps people develop, expand their coast and
Yeah.
all that. The problem is the unsafe migration, which the economy of Nigeria has sort of forced people into. And everybody wants to escape, and leave Nigeria. It's very burdensome because a lot of people lose their lives in that in that process.
Yeah.
A lot of people are displaced. A lot of people become refugees wherever they're going. And therefore, we're trying to look for ways by which, number one, you can educate and inform people that you don't need to take that level of risk just because an economy is bad. We can also try and talk to the migrating countries as to how best to receive migrants, how to treat them. It's not a crime to some extent. When somebody is migrating, there's a reason.
Yeah.
You're trying to find better pasture. You're trying to find better education. You're trying to find better conditions.
Yeah.
Donald Duke was sharing a story with me. In fact, I visited his house.
Yeah.
And I think I have his permission to give this testimony.
Yeah.
And introduced his house assistant to me and told that one to tell me his story. That one had left Edo with 20 people trying to cross the Sahara Desert to get into Europe. They spent about 9 months in that crossing, and 20 of them left, 6 of them arrived, and 14 had died on the way. And he said that their most precious item on that crossing was their urine. Because there was no water. So every night you pass urine, you keep it in a bottle, and you hold it tight. That if they steal your urine, that's
So you drink it?
You drink it. You drink it the next day, and then you keep going. Then the night you pass urine, you hold the urine. Because some people will steal other people's urine, and then drink
they don't fall sick or something.
That shows the resilience of the human body and the human mind.
Spirit, mind, yes.
Yeah. So they drink it. And once they steal your urine, you are done.
You're done.
Can you imagine?
Pastor, ask one question. You're sure you've heard of Bobrisky?
Yeah.
What's your take?
I think Bobrisky, me, I'm a pastor.
Yeah.
I'm very traditional.
Yes.
If you're a man, you're a man.
Yes.
If you're a woman, you're a woman.
Yes.
Don't confuse us. And don't confuse yourself. That's my personal opinion.
Yes.
As a person, I have no problem. But I don't think it is proper to mix genders, period. And I think it's better for us to, especially for young children that are coming up. A lot of people are confused now.
Yeah.
The other day, a young lady I read in America turned herself into a man, became a man for a season, got confused, got angry, and now wants to become a woman again. I think the one who created us, male and female, created us male and female,
for a purpose.
Didn't make a mistake, knew what he was doing. So let's not... No, I don't think.
Pastor, one other question I just wanted to ask you. So now, that night you got that call about your late wife. Just tell me about that first 2 minutes.
That's a deep question. I was sleeping. It was a Saturday night into a Sunday morning. I had spoken to my wife at about 8:39. We'd had a perfectly normal conversation. She was teasing me. She said I owed her money because she used my car to travel, and the car had broken down. So she had to fix the car, spend 175,000 naira, and wanted her money back. And I said, no problem, I'll pay you back. You just, when you come back, or I'll transfer. I said, yeah, la, 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 la. And then I slept because I was going to church the next day. And at about 2 o'clock, my phone just kept ringing. It was the house intercom. And I picked it up, and my house assistant said to me that our manager, my wife's manager, Lawal, in Port Harcourt, was trying desperately to reach me. And then I picked up my phone, 12 missed calls or something from this Lawal. So I called him, and he said to me that Madam had passed. He just said it, that Madam had passed. We can't wake her up. So I said, my wife, my wife, my wife, my wife. He said, yes. I said, are you sure? He said, yes. I said, Madam? He said, yes. I said, show me a picture. You know, so he took a picture. She was lying in the car, and he sent it to me. And I looked at the picture. It was my wife, and she looked not alive. So I said, okay, no problem. So I put the phone down. So I looked up to the ceiling, and I said, so, Lord, what do I do? You know, and a lot of thoughts. The immediate thought was to go to Port Harcourt, where she was, COVID time. Nobody was moving. She had my car because my car was the stronger car than her car. So I called my driver. Luckily, he picked up. I said, can Madam's car reach Port Harcourt? He says he doesn't see why not. I said, okay, come, get here now. By 4 a.m., we're leaving for Port Harcourt. So he said, okay, sir. He didn't even ask me why. He just said, okay, sir. So I knew he was on his way to leave to Port Harcourt. So I then said, okay, so Port Harcourt, 7 hours or 8 hours to get there, another 8 hours back. Then I heard the voice say that before you get to Port Harcourt, you'll be dead yourself.
Oh.
Out of pain, out of anxiety, out of tension, out of fear, out of what you're going to meet back. He says, so don't go to Port Harcourt. Tell them to bring her to you. So I called Lawal back. I said, can you bring her? He says, yes. He says, well, we can't leave till 6. I said, why? He says, we have to get clearance from the governor. I said, well, call governor, tell him to give you clearance. Bring my wife now. And then I had this overwhelming sense of calmness and peace.
Where did that come from?
I don't know, from God.
Come what happened to me, I didn't get any calmness.
I was very, very calm. Very, very calm. By this time, the staff had come to my bedroom.
That head.
And they all sat on the floor, and they were crying. I said, why are you people crying? And I said, don't cry. There's nothing to cry about. I said, everything's okay. No problem. No problem at all. So I started thinking, so what do I do? Instinct, call Aswe. The thing said, don't call Aswe. If you call Aswe, it won't let you rest. Let him sleep well. The next thing, call your mother-in-law. I said, no need. Just calm down. I said, but I have service. I said, yeah, go for your service. Go and preach. I said, I have a funeral. I said, yeah, you made a commitment. Go and take the funeral. I said, okay, no problem. So I started walking my phones, replying my text messages. And just like you could hear somebody talking to you and you were talking back. I think that person is called God. You know, so...
But he doesn't talk to me. Is there anything that you'll be doing differently?
Many things.
Come on, I hear you guys say that, man, God's talking to me. It doesn't happen to me.
No, God talks.
Maybe talking to me, I know they hear or
maybe
something.
you know they hear. Because when me say if I did like, I know get they born again. God they talk, but I know they hear.
They hear.
Yeah. They talk, but I couldn't quite recognize his voice.
Let me ask you again, Pastor C.
Yeah.
So some people have tried to compare. You know when Herbert died, and then they had that party with Flavor, and I wrote this stinker. So nobody called me to say, "Oh, why are you critiquing this woman?" After all, Pastor Ituah went for a funeral on the day.
Yeah.
So what's your take on that? Not your funeral, but the take of this other
This
person.
other funeral.
Yes.
This
party, 60-year-old party.
quite, when I went for that funeral, I had two sets of opinion.
Okay.
Some people criticized me
Oh, brilliant.
and said it was a bit of a heartless thing and uncompassionate thing
Yeah.
to do. That
Same
truly, same day, my wife died, and I have the gumption to go for a funeral. Another said to me that it helped their faith. It encouraged them.
Yeah.
It showed them what the Christian reaction
Yeah.
to death should be,
yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
So it's like the story of the guy trying to cross the bridge of lions on a rope, and some people are shouting, don't go, don't go, don't go. Other people are shouting, go, 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 you can make it. Then when he got to the other side, they asked him, which of the voices kept you going? He said, neither. I just focused on where I was going. So I didn't listen to this, I didn't listen to that. All I know, that I know, is that I heard God, and I believe God said to me, stay calm, be normal, fulfill your obligations, and I will be with you.
So if it was a party, would you have gone?
I don't think
Without
so.
God have spoken to you?
No, I don't think so. I don't think God will ask me to go for a party. I think God will ask me to fulfill my obligations of comforting somebody who needed comfort in spite of my pain.
Yeah.
Comforting somebody who needed comfort in spite of my pain. Biola,
So is there a relationship there between you and this other person?
who
60-year-old woman.
oh, she's my good friend.
So,
We've been
so
friends
did
since
she
we were
reach out to you, or
teenagers.
did you reach out to her during all the rumpus?
We're still talking. They're my friends.
No, I mean, did you guys discuss this matter?
Not in detail, because it was raw. They were going through pain. We saw at a function, and then she looked at me, I looked at her. She says, she have been here. And I said, yeah. She says, what did I say? Let's keep quiet for now. Let's keep quiet for now.
Do you by any chance know if she read my article?
I wouldn't know. I'm sure she did. A lot of people read things that time. I'm sure she did.
Okay, let me ask about Aswe. Were you part of that process
Which process?
of going to politics?
Of course, there's nothing Aswe does that he doesn't run by me.
So you supported it for the 100%?
We've been on the project for about 2 years. A lot of people do not know that about 2 years ago, some people came to ask Aswe initially to go into politics.
Why Aswe? Why not you?
This is what we're coming to now.
Okay.
So they went to him because, I don't know, maybe they felt he should go into politics. And he thought that he was a bit too, it wasn't appropriate for him to do so. And he wasn't political.
Yeah.
So he sent them to me, that I'm the more political person in the family as of that time, and that I should go. So they came to me and said, this is what your brother has said. And I said, okay, let me think about it, and all that, and come back. So they went, and then they came back, and they said, what's my take? I said, no. I said, let me stay in the church for now. Let me not go into Edo politics for different reasons.
And then your church is fine. Oh.
Well, God is helping us.
You know, so I've come to your church like 2 times, and each time I burial I come. You know, and then this guy sang this song, I Did It My Way. It's very beautiful rendition.
We love that. I love that song.
Yeah.
And it's well, this is a secular song, as it were, but very, very impactful.
Yes.
You know, it talks about a man who goes through life, goes through ups and downs and challenges, but at the end of it all, he has no regrets because he did it his way.
So what's the age difference between you and Aswe?
1 year, 9 months.
Who's older?
Aswe, of
Aswe is
course.
older.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Aswe
So
is
you guys are
older.
younger. We not the fight. We fight.
We never fought.
He's never beating you. He's never beating you up.
No,
The pastor
Aswe
says
is a
it's just us here.
gentleman.
It's not good to come out.
Aswe is a gentleman.
When he told me to beat you,
No, beat me. No, there was mutual respect. Aswe and I.
well, so let me ask you. So how do you guys keep that structure from Ibadan to Lagos? So it's very tight. So I envy you guys. I watch from the far. I watch you guys. So that's you. That's Aswe. That's Chike. That's Wales again. So I hear a lot of Ibadan people. How do you guys maintain that closeness? How many years after?
Well, I don't know. You know, Ibadan was a very simple town. and very honest town, very open town. And we were all family. Our parents were friends, we were friends. We were not exposed to money and that kind of lifestyle. Most of our parents were civil servants or simple business people, very, very disciplined parents, disciplinarians. We competed in terms of academics, in terms of sports, and in terms of who could chase the more girls as boys. So you put on your jeans.
So how successful are you?
Very successful. Extremely successful.
I can imagine.
I'm legendary. Even till today, people still remind me. Very legendary.
Okay.
Yeah, I was an expert.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, I can
Brilliant.
teach you a few things. But because of your wife, I won't go there. Yeah.
Okay, so that leads me to my next question now. So you have a huge network that cuts across politics, business, all of that. So how do you come about building that? Because now you are more popular than Aswe, as it were, but maybe now that Aswe wants to be governor now, so he may have that small edge. So how come you have that? Is it because you're a pastor that you have that very strong goodwill? I want to say that.
I've always been a people person, and I've always been bold and open, and I had parents that encouraged me to be myself. And I make friends very easily, very quickly. I don't have groups. I don't have a group. That's the difference between Aswe and myself slightly.
Okay.
Aswe has a group.
A cluster.
A cluster. I have several groups.
Okay.
So you see me in different groups at different times, and all of them thinking that I'm quite close to them.
Yeah.
But I have many of them at different times, and I still keep my personality. So it's easy for me to make friends. I go out of my way to make friends.
So your relationship with Gio?
Very good one.
Very good relationship.
We're even related.
Yeah.
We're related from my mother's side.
You're not vexing with him again or something?
I never vexed with him.
But when they asked you to leave, you didn't vex? I heard you were very upset.
I was upset. I was upset because I had done nothing wrong.
But it's when you just scatter the church that day.
Eh?
When you just scatter the church, okay, let everything right today. We steer everything to pieces.
No, I come from a good upbringing, a good background.
Yeah.
And I know the Joe very well.
Yeah.
He can, anyway, I'm one of the closest people to him, even till today.
Okay.
Because I understand him. We're extremely close. We worked very well together.
Yeah.
And I understood him, and I understood his fears and the reasons why he did what he did.
Oh.
And so I forgave him in advance, even though I was very hurt. I was hurt not just for myself. I was hurt for him. I was hurt for the church and all the things that we had dreamt of doing. I was hurt for the people that were under my support or that I was looking after, and the disappointment that they would feel.
So did you cry at that point in time?
No, I don't cry. I don't think I've cried for a long time.
Even when your wife passed, you didn't cry?
I didn't cry.
I'm here to cry, though.
No, I don't cry.
When AFC arrested me, I cried, though. I cried for 3 days non-stop. Has AFC arrested before?
The FCC has never arrested
Police?
me. But, you know,
Has police
I
arrested
have,
before?
I have a friend. But I didn't commit crime for police.
So you're not entering a cell?
No. What am I doing?
Then your background will be boring, though. So what else can we put in your background and make people want to read? That's very interesting.
I had a very hectic social life.
Yeah.
Very hectic. I've been drunk many times.
Oh.
Well, a few times, not many. A few times, but very significant times. I've been on adventure. I've had accidents before. Accidents that took people's lives. I somehow escaped. My social life was hectic in the 80s and in the 90s.
So at what point did you become born again? Was it like you woke up and you're I'm going born again? Or was it gradual?
I'll give that responsibility to my mom and also to Christ. As I said, I lived a very active social life. There was almost no party at a time in Lagos that didn't pass through my hands. It's a certain generation. No bachelor's leave that I wasn't part of. I had a little Koban in Yaba, very famous. If you didn't have a party in Lagos, I would create one in 2 minutes and all that. And I worked hard. I was running an accounting practice.
Yeah.
I had about,
How is that doing now?
it's doing quite
You
well.
still go to work every day?
Not every day, but I go to work. I'm in semi-retirement now from accounting.
So that's your partner?
I have two partners.
No, the one that owns the hotel at that other side. The one that owns the hotel at
Okay. Robert Ojiachi.
Yeah.
He's doing very well. Well,
He's a mean man, though.
He's a good guy.
One day I was owing them in that hotel. He said I must collect my money. They must collect my money.
But he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
So as I said, I had this practice and I was doing well.
Yeah.
At least for my age and stage. But Lagos was tough. It was tedious.
You can imagine.
I was getting frustrated because I wasn't getting the rewards of the energy I put in. And I was getting tired and fed up. And all I know was that there was an emptiness inside that the girls couldn't feel, that the parties couldn't feel, that even the money, when I made money, I was worried. How can somebody make money and be worried?
Okay, wait. Was it like a sort of Tassos moment?
It wasn't a Tassos moment. I was just tired and fed up and frustrated and empty. And I think my mother noticed it and decided that she should come and spend some time with me and just pray for me. She'd been telling me that the lifestyle I was living would not take me far, that I needed to give my life to Christ. She was telling me, she was telling us at the same time, because she'd become born again.
So you are two? There are two children in your family?
There are three.
Who's
Tolu, my sister, she's the eldest.
Where is she now?
She's in Lagos, yeah.
Nobody has about. She's married?
Separated.
Oh, okay.
Separated. She worked in Shell. Then she relocated abroad to look after her children. And then she came back working.
She's the eldest?
She's the eldest.
Oh, okay.
She's 6 years older than myself.
Oh.
4 years older than Aswe.
Oh, okay.
She was,
so did she like bully you guys?
No. In our family, everybody went on their own lane.
So what's the relationship with the Oni of Ife? I heard that story.
He's
on your
my nephew.
He's your nephew. Okay, so you are from Edo State. So
how my mother is from.
Oh, your mother is from.
Yeah.
Okay, so your mother worked with Faji.
My mother worked with Faji.
Yes, because I saw you guys at the end of the play. So that means you met Faji.
Oh, we used to go to, well, he wasn't there for long, but it was even Adebayo that we're closer to.
Oh, okay.
Faji was there 6 months or 1 year, but my mother was an undersecretary, almost a permanent secretary when Faji was in government. But we all loved him at that time. In fact, when he died, I was in distraught.
I still didn't cry that day.
I didn't cry, but I was distraught. It was a real dark day in Ibadan. I remember very, very well.
Tell me, I'm excited.
No, it was a real dark day. Faji had come with a lot of charisma, a lot of love for the people, hardworking. I bear testimony to the fact that he was, at least in those 6 months, incorruptible. And everybody was very happy with Faji, and so when we then heard that Iransi came and they took him away. We'd been traumatized before. When Akitola was killed, we were all aware. I went to his house the day Akitola's house in Yagoku, 2-3 days after the killing, because there was all sorts of rumors. He became a fly, he ran away, they didn't catch him. He was eating amala and ewedu. I actually saw the amala and ewedu that he was eating on his dining table as a young kid. So we've all been through that trauma, wet here. You can't go out, the thugs are out, politics, don't go out, wet here and come. So when the army came, it was a bit of, at that time, like a relief. And Faji had been doing very, very well. So the day he died, they took him away. We don't know where he was for 2-3 days. We're all in panic and everything. Then the news came that he had been killed. They thrown his body on the road and all that. The whole place was dark. So when Adebayo came, initially we resisted. That was the feeling. We wanted our Faji back. But Adebayo soon.
So when you saw the play Faji, was there any point you connected with it that took you back to Ibadan in the play?
Throughout. In fact, that point where in Rossi, and they were in the government house, and you reenacted, the cocktail party, but more the one that night.
Oh, the night
when
they came for him.
They came for him. It was like a deja vu, because we'd heard that story many times before, over and over again, how they said they were going to take it on Rossi, and Faju insisted that you had to take me also and all
Yeah.
that. It was like a very, very, very. Both us we were just glued to that play. It was very, very, very moving
Yeah.
and all that. I was happy that you were able to bring the children.
Yeah.
And so on and so
It was a
forth.
tough call. It was a tough call because the first son was going to take us court.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's going to take us court. And then I had to go meet him, beg him, play with him, because he felt that we didn't give him enough respect. We didn't give him respect. We didn't take permission from him and things like that. But but we had tried to, but we had advised against it, against going to see him for whatever reasons. But on a whim, I just said, let me just go see this guy. I'm in Kitty. The place is 2 days time in Kitty, and his first one is alive. So why am I not going? So I just went to see him, and then he just said, my dad just left. I've showed them to write to you guys, just like that. So I just let that for grandson to beg him. Then he agreed, and then the Iransi man also the same thing. Well, he wasn't. He just buy my ticket and you can. So we try to do those things when we are doing this plays, So I'm thinking of doing Sonia Adi now in December.
Who writes those scripts for you? How do you do your research?
Okay, so Nigeria has a pool of talents. Do you get? So I'm just the money man. So I know people like you. So I'm gonna buy the tickets. I'm gonna bring the money for them to do what they need to do.
Okay, so you just put it together.
So I have the brainwave.
Yeah.
So I see the play very quickly before them.
Yeah.
So that my vision tells me who to approach to write.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it also tells me who to approach to direct.
Oh, really?
So once I've sorted out those two things, then I've left them to their devices.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you decide who writes it.
Yes, I will write it.
Who writes the script? So how do you verify it for authenticity?
No, I don't. It's not my business because I go for. That's why I use professors. So it's that professor's reputation that's taken on me.
Okay.
Do you understand? So, like, for example, when we did Saleko, and then we did to rousing applause, everybody loved it. Do you get? And then 4-5 years after, when I went to meet the governor of Lagos State to present a book to him, so one white cap chief was seated and he looked at the picture and I said, no, that's not the cap we wore in 1932. Because if this is Oba Ishubai, then that was not the cap. So I said, it's not me. I called the professor and said, I will talk to your brother. That doesn't concern me. So I try to use people that have reputation at stake. Like I'm doing Kashima on as Professor Ojo that is doing it now. So he's commissioner of arts and culture in this. So anything goes wrong at that level, that's his business. So me to just go and for money and do that show.
Well, but you need to be a bit more careful because nobody is going to take it on. Because in Nigeria, you'll get away with this. Abroad, somebody will sue you.
They will sue me. It's mine, they will sue. That's why they always fight. That's the problem with them. That's why they always fight. That their name is mentioned as writer.
It's very important.
Very important.
And then you must have that exclusion clause that says that you don't take responsibility for the content and the authenticity.
In fact, there's a fight that's brewing now that wants to happen. No. So, we're going to UK without and then the director doesn't have a work visa, so he can't work in the UK. So we sold the franchise to a UK company. But the director is insisting that his name must be on the billboards. Are you see now? But meanwhile, I think his name must be on the billboard. He doesn't know that I'm even having an affair with that whole family, whether I have the right to do it or not. So the Tambolo is here fighting for his rights. Do you understand? The bigger fights out there. So when I'm tired, I just join all them together. You get? So I'm a producer. And like I always tell them, so the stories are plenty. Do you get? And I have a finite number of lives, number of years in this world. Do you get? That's why I'm doing 8 a year. That's why I'm doing plenty. Because someone else tell these stories. You get? Like this 5 years now, I can spool so many things out of it. You get? Like now, I went for Raza Wakashima now. I just cut my hair. I saw Baba Salah's 2 children, and then the production. The guy says my father had 30 wives.
Baba Salah's wife
had 30 wives. My father had 30 wives. Do you get? And then he now says, oh, Sonade is now the head of our family. Do you get? I was like, why don't you do something on Sonade? Because that's not a rich story. I get me now. But up until this morning, I never thought about doing Sonade. My head isn't go on. I want to go on in August.
You need to do go on.
But he has written me and said I shouldn't do it.
Yeah, he's a bit shy.
Yeah, so I told him it's not his business. You get?
He's doing not his business.
It's not his business.
Why? He's a public figure.
He's a public figure.
Yeah.
It's not his business.
He's very shy. He doesn't want all that.
He doesn't have to come. He shouldn't bother.
He will come.
But Pastor,
Just make sure the story is authentic.
Pastor, see.
Ojukwu, you're not going to do
No,
it.
I will never touch that.
Why?
I will not touch Ojukwu. I won't touch anybody that's done anything to desecrate Nigeria.
Well, do you think Ojukwu desecrated Nigeria?
When he tried to separate us.
Well, who put us together in the first place?
Well, I grew up in one Nigeria. I was born into one Nigeria.
Well, the whole
So I don't
thing,
know any other country.
no, the whole thing called Nigeria is an unusual amalgamation. We were not supposed to be. It wasn't with our permission.
No,
Ojukwu did nothing wrong, as far as I'm concerned.
No,
and you
but
can say it anywhere.
Well,
That's my position.
but is it for two reasons now? You see,
Yeah.
first, I won't get sponsors. Two,
I'm sure you will.
now I won't get sponsors. I know that for a fact.
To do Ojukwu.
Yes, I love. You see,
Bianca will sponsor you.
No. See, my guy, let me tell you something about this thing.
You see,
Nigerians-
if you don't do Ojukwu, we need to tell the true story of Nigeria.
I will tell, but not through Ojuku's eyes. You see,
Yeah.
if I'm going to do that Ojuku's story, I'll do Bianca. I'll do from Bianca's side. Just like this Awo thing now. Did you see Awo?
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, Awo is
When
from.
was Awo?
I was like 2-3 years ago. I was from the wife. So you come there thinking you want to say Awo. It's not always, it's the wife.
Okay.
Yeah, his wife is saying. So if I'm going to Ojuku, it's from Bianca's angle.
Well,
You get,
well,
or
okay.
whatever. Do you
No
get me now?
problem, yeah.
So you see, well, let me say something here very quickly. So it's easy. People say it very easily. Edgar, next project, I'll give you money.
Yeah.
So there's something I noticed, there's euphoria. When they
Yeah.
come and see the play, they'll be like, oh, Edgar, that was beautiful. Come, let's play. Let's play the guy, you come call her 6 months and you know, take your call.
I know.
Are you getting me that?
There is a lot
You know,
of that in
Yeah.
Nigeria.
So for me, I have to see the money first before I even think of what to do. Like this one I didn't have seen the money. I know where I can go to get the money very easily.
Okay.
Before I choose my subjects and things like that, you know.
Okay.
You know. But first, let me ask one question on that. Sex. You see, I want to be born again, but that is holding me.
What?
That urge for sex.
You have a wife?
Oh, Pastor, it's not about wife. You see, so the boundaries have okay. You're not in our war, so you understand. But let me tell you. So the boundaries have collapsed completely. So the sex is everywhere.
Oh dear.
I'm telling you. So when you're not trying to be born again, they throw it at you. So how do you resist? But don't tell me point of view of a pastor. Tell me point of view as a man. So you're okay now. You've been single now for how long now? So I'm sure there are pressures.
All over the place.
So how do you resist? Okay, you're simple. You just go back. Oh God, stop this. God, stop this. But has anybody ever come that close?
It's as simple as that, you know.
What?
Oh God, stop this.
I know they work for me.
It will work.
I don't try.
If you are determined.
I say, oh my God, I'm sorry.
If you are de-
I'm sorry I have to do this.
No, the problem is you don't know what you are losing.
But you pray for forgiveness after. Does
I
that work?
know, not continually.
but they say that Jesus said that you can forgive 70 times, 7 times.
I know, but after a while, God will get tired of forgiving. And then you might. You see, the problem is people do not know what you have lost.
What have I lost?
A lot of things,
Physical.
physical and spiritual. I'm
Okay,
telling you.
okay, Pastor, let's just talk before it's scare me.
with-
Let's just talk before it's scare me. Let me ask you a question, Pastor.
Yeah.
You see, has anybody come this close? Just between us here.
No.
Has anybody come? Nobody has come this close since your wife left.
No,
Not that I've thought about say, just maybe.
no.
So you're not going to remarry.
I'm not saying so, but it will take a lot to get me to remarry. Marriage is very important thing. It takes a lot. I loved my wife very, very much, very, very deeply. And if you're not ready
But
to,
that was the second marriage.
it was my second.
So what's the
marriage.
difference?
The first one, I was a little bit ignorant, I must admit.
Did you have
Even
children
though-
then?
even though- No. Even though I was born again. You know, the most important thing in marriage is to love deeply without expectation of return. The first marriage, I didn't love deeply. I thought liking somebody, mutual attraction and all that was sufficient to keep a marriage going. It turned out that it wasn't quite sufficient and she wasn't satisfied for various reasons. So she left. Painful, but was okay. I coped.
Did you cheat?
Hmm?
Did you cheat?
Did I cheat on her? No.
Why? That first one now.
I was born again.
Oh, you
when
were
I
born again
became
when you got
born
married?
again, when I became born again, I was serious about it. Because I knew what I went through before I got born again. I didn't, it
Is there
wasn't
any hope
play,
for
play.
people that goes who cheat?
Plenty of hope. Plenty of hope. Plenty of hope. One day you'll come to some realization. You know, I'll tell you the story of a friend of mine. When I got born again 20 years ago, or more, almost 30 years born again, I used to beg him to give his life to Jesus. You know, my mother used to pray a prayer that if they won't do it simply, make it tough for them to do it. It's a dangerous prayer.
Yes, my mother's prayer for me. I don't like it.
It's a dangerous prayer.
Yeah. Mother will say, if you won't give to God, devil will take it. I say, what kind of stupid guys now?
It tough. So this fellow, I used to pray, and beg him and all that. He said, I should go away. That is okay with God. Even some of my friends said it's poverty that drove me to Christianity. The boy is sick now, as I speak. So when he's sick, he called me. I said, are you ready to give your life to Jesus? He said, he's ready. I said, why wait until you get sick and you don't know how to go and how to help yourself? Why? Why didn't you give your life 20 years ago when I was asking you? So maybe this sickness would have been prevented.
So you believe in miracles, healing?
Oh, it's happened for me. I used to be asthmatic. Prayer took away that asthma.
Okay, so what's the case of that man that says has woken up 50 people from the dead?
It's possible. It's possible. There's nothing God cannot do. That's
what the one that has like 600 powers?
I don't know about 600 powers. But there's
Prophet
nothing.
Odume, you know him now? He's your colleague. Is he a member of the Christian Union of Nigeria?
I don't know this one you're talking about. I've never met
Pastor, you don't know Pastor. You don't know him?
No.
Jaboskini. He's Jaboski.
I don't know him.
He said he's one that.
Google him.
Yeah, please. He said he's one that brought down the Naira. Abu Shaka.
No, the Naira was on his way down. Nobody brought down the Naira. Bad governance brought down the Naira.
So let me ask two questions, two things. There's no scandal in your life? None whatsoever?
Well, not of recent. And even the misdemeanors I did, maybe they were not sufficient to be.
No, I mean of recent, between you to 30-year born again, no scandal whatsoever.
No. The biggest news about me was leaving Redeem.
Yeah, that be national news.
That was the biggest.
Everybody were fighting for. Even me that I didn't even know why they were fighting. Were like, oh, no, you can't do him like this.
Yeah, because they saw the amount of work I did, and they thought it was a little bit unfair.
So when you left, did the church followed you?
No, I mean when I left, I didn't do anything for 1 year. I was just in my house with my wife, going to different churches and just trying to gather myself. It was a very emotional thing for me.
I can imagine.
In fact, I felt sick. And I didn't know I was sick. I now knew that stress can give you sickness. Yeah. Stress.
So you're stressed?
I was stressed. And I didn't know I was stressed. I was just moving. I was in automation. But all I knew was that I wasn't top of health. I was very lethargic, always tired, always fed up, didn't want to do anything. So I thought I had...
Did you feel betrayed?
I was disappointed, not betrayed. Disappointed. As I said, I understood why they did what they did. I understood it, even in that. And I forgave. I said, it's okay. One of the things I think God has gifted me with is the ability to put myself in the other person's shoes and understand where they're coming from, and therefore not to be so angry and all that.
So when last you go to camp?
December, I went to do a training in camp. I went to train some people in camp.
Okay. So you're not affiliated to anybody?
No.
Internationally, nothing. But you know, I saw what you're trying to say now, because my father used to be a pastor too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was a pastor. And then I was Sunday school teacher at some point.
Wonderful.
Yes, and I was in the choir too. And then they suspended my dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he used to cry every day on suspension for 2 weeks.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he had his girlfriend somewhere and they found out.
Oh, my goodness. So
my mother was the one that found out. And my mother now came to church and said, they must suspend the pastor. And then the church now said, no, he's our pastor, he's a pastor. And then my father said, he's a principal man, he has to go down. So he went down. So for that 2 weeks, he was traumatized, he was stressed like you too. And then he called to my room. Too. Yeah, because of flogging, he called to my room and said, I asked him, but daddy, why you let them catch you? And then he would say, are you crazy? Is it about catching me? Or I said, for me, it's about catching you. Why you let them catch you?
But they will always catch you.
Yeah.
They will always catch you.
That's scary.
You can't continue to do something for a length of time when you are working with God and you think they won't catch you.
So what's the take on polygamy?
I mean, the Bible doesn't support polygamy.
Why?
Even though some of the patriarchs were polygamous.
God bless you. So that was my next question. That's why you guys always divide the Bible into two.
Because the Bible is divided into two.
But those other ones had zillions of wives and they're in heaven now.
Yeah. Well,
so why can't we be like that?
I know that's where you're going.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, we're not sure Solomon is in heaven.
Why?
Because the Bible tells us that towards the end of his life,
That's a table shaker.
his women drew him away from God.
Oh, that's
and
true.
God became angry with him.
Oh, that's true.
David almost missed it if he had not sincerely repented. In fact, David died a broken and sad man. He had an illness that he could not recover from. That was part of his...
Maybe it was HIV.
Possibly.
But they wouldn't know that time now.
Possibly.
Was that a protected sex?
Possibly. In fact, a pastor friend of mine said it must have been HIV by the description
Of the symptoms.
of the symptoms in one of the Psalms. He described the symptoms. Heat, rash, his genitals were inflamed and all manners of things. You know,
So this is your calmness, because first one time I came to the office and I started with you, and I felt very calm. So you won't say the Holy Spirit or what? So basically, if I slap you, and you slap me back.
I won't. You can't try it.
So no, I can't try it because now you hang. You hang like this. Oh, yeah. So where does calmness come from? So you don't ever lose your temper, even when they steal your money.
I won't say I don't lose my temper. Like everybody else, you feel irritation. And sometimes your voice goes up. But somehow, something quickly reminds me to calm down.
We have a weakness. You're human. So what's our weakness?
My weakness.
We must have one weakness. So like for me now, my weakness is afang and sex. So what's your weakness?
I hope your wife is not listening.
No, she won't. She won't do it.
She will hear it on wherever it is. Or you edit it out.
No, I think it's part of the job. She just understand.
How's she coping with you?
I don't even know myself. Wow. You know, she was kicked out of the room for 4 years. That's why I sleep on the couch. I don't sleep on the bed now.
Till now?
Yeah, so I got used to sleeping on the couch for 4 years. So now that they've forgiven me, if I sleep on the bed, I'm very uncomfortable.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
4 years?
She locked me 4 years. Is this kind of people that advise her wrongly against me?
Well, try to be faithful. She's a lovely lady.
Yeah.
You would have less stress, less distractions, and the spiritual effects of extramarital affairs will not be your portion.
Amen. So, Pastor, rounding up, thank you so much for joining me. But is there any last thing you want to say to us?
Well, just to thank you for the work you do.
What do I do?
You do a lot of work.
Well, supporting me now, Pastor.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't buy my tickets again, but I'll talk to him more.
He's a bit busy.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe when he finishes what he's doing.
Yeah, I know.
He's very focused on this thing. And that's Ashley for you.
Yeah, I know.
Once he takes on something, he gives it his all.
Yeah.
Maybe when this season is over.
Thank you so much. I want to thank you finally for accepting to join us. I also want to thank you for also allowing us to have a very beautiful conversation, because there are some people that when you talk to, from the way they answer you, usually just gum. Ask a question, I can't answer you. But you've made this very beautiful. Thank you so much, Pastor.
Thank you.
And I'll come to the church with this. I'll do altar call.
You must come.
Do you have female ushers? That's like it's all male ushers.
No, we have a mixture of.
Because female ushers are the ones that attract people like me. One last question. Pastor, one last question. So I think some Christians are not serious people, and I'll tell you why. So when the power wants to come, when pastor touch this one and this, so some Pentecostal churches like Fountain of Life, when I used to go to that church before, when the pastor is about to touch the gate, the usher will now rush and come with rapper, and when it gets full, he will now cover her leg. That is not real Holy Spirit. What do you think?
What is not Holy Spirit about it?
That means it's premeditated. That means you already know that you are going to fall. So when pastor concludes, you now call usher will now come rapper and cover your leg. If real Holy Spirit is all those white garment churches, when they fall, they just scatter from.
No. When there's an altar call, there's an anticipation that anybody
can fall.
So
that's the usher has hold rapper. This is responsible for people like us.
Are you going to receive the Holy Spirit or watch falling?
We go to observe. Watch
Edgar, you make a brilliant pastor. And I pray for you that the Holy Spirit will seize you.
Oh my God.
Your eyes will be opened. You will preach the gospel.
Oh my God.
And many will come to the knowledge of Jesus Christ through Edgar.
Amen.
In Jesus'
just give me
name.
like 2 years. Let me just enjoy life for 2 years. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. Enjoy yourself. Pastor Ituah Ighodalo. Thank you. Just because. Thanks for listening and watching. I've been ranting with Pastor Ituah Ighodalo on the movement on the movement pod. Thank you. God bless you. I mean, just join and go work.
That's exactly how you should put it. Just join and we go walk.
It's true, you're right.
Yeah, put it just like that.